And while the pros will be dealing with the wind on the golf course, a different type of pro is needed to help maintain the machines that harness Oklahoma winds for energy. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor, one of the fastest growing occupations in the U.S. is wind turbine technician. In fact, the demand for trained techs is expected to grow by 96% in the next 5 years. This week, reporter Steve Shaw traveled to Woodward to check out the High Plains Technology Center, and he joins us now. Steve.
Rich, starting pay for a wind turbine technician in Oklahoma is just over $20 an hour, and there are perks that quickly bump that wage much higher. If you're not afraid of heights, you're disciplined, and you're willing to follow direction, they have a job for you.
Kayla Pollock is a 2011 Tologa High School graduate who's a safety instructor in the Advanced Wind Tech program at High Plains Technology Center.
Cardio is one thing, but climbing a ladder is completely different. They are two completely different types of being in shape. You might be able to run 5 miles, but climbing a ladder is a complete different kind of being in shape.
According to Earth.org, by the year 2035, renewable energy sources like wind and solar will account for more than half of global energy production.
Is it air conditioned in there?
No.
It's not?
No, it's air conditioned in here though.
Directional control valve. So do we know how many positions that is?
Jack Day has been High Plains Advanced Wind instructor since 2012.
All my students, none of them really come in here with any electrical or hydraulic or mechanical backgrounds. That's not really important to me. What's important to me is character. So integrity, being dependable, and motivated. Those are huge pieces.
Perhaps the most important requirements to do this is you can't be afraid of heights, obviously. You have to weigh less than 265 pounds, and you must wear personal protective eyewear and other safety equipment.
I tell every one of my students that I respect the height. So they ask if I'm nervous about going up and helping them with their evacuation training, and because we're going to be standing on a small platform, and of course I tell them, yeah, I mean there's a little bit of nerves, and that keeps me alive. That keeps me, from being complacent and making sure that most importantly, for me is that there's nothing that's going to happen to them.
High Plains program spans 800 hours over 21 weeks. The school graduates 18 wind turbine technicians each semester, and High Plains boasts a 95% job placement rate. Day says once they're certified, wind turbine technicians can work literally anywhere.
We kind of encourage them, hey, go out, work in the States for a year or so, get familiar with the machines and what you're doing, and most of these companies they're hiring on with are global.
These programs are regulated by an organization called the Global Wind Organization. Last month, that Global Wind Organization named High Plains the #1 provider of wind turbine safety and technical training in the United States. They're #4 in the world.
They will also graduate with 7 what we call GWO, Global Wind Organization certifications. So the first of those are working at heights, climbing, which includes climbing and rescuing, practicing rescues off of a ladder and also from inside the nacelle. Manual handling, so how to properly lift items, because you're going to be doing that a lot. Fire awareness, so they learn how to mitigate a fire, how to put it out, because that is a danger for us as well with electricity. And then they also first aid, CPR, AED. Again, because we're working remotely in rural areas and by our, with a partner, we got to know how to do those things.
I really like the sustainability of it, the reliability of the job.
Elk City native Cooper Taylor will graduate from Great Plains next week. He's already accepted a job at a wind farm in Gage, Oklahoma.
So you're not afraid to get up there?
No, I'm not afraid of heights. I love roller coasters, all that kind of stuff. But I like not having to go in and doing the same thing in repetition every day. A new challenge, new things to figure out, new things to solve every day.
A wind turbine technician job is solitary, but for safety reasons, they work in pairs.
I think anyone who applies themselves can become a very quality employee in this field. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. Just use your head enough to be safe, because at the end of the day, the safety is on you.
And I think I'm getting into it at a right time as well, because there's a lot of jobs.
Kelsey Edinger worked at William S. Key State Prison for 5 years before it closed in December. She graduates from High Plains next Friday, too.
It's going to be there. And for these younger kids that are, getting out of high school, I definitely recommend it, because they'll always have a job.
Ike McVigor was a member of High Plains' first advanced wind energy class a decade ago.
It's growing. It was growing 10 years ago when I first started. It's growing now, and the advancement's it's insane how fast you can.
Wind turbine technicians have to get recertified every 2 years. High Plains is the only facility in the state that is licensed to host that kind of testing. Rich?